record?
We're good.
Okay, good evening, guys. I'm super excited because tonight we're doing Facebook. So Kristen and Abrielle kill Facebook. So as you have questions, put them in the chat and we'll get them at the end. And then next week, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Next week, we're going to be going over IPAs and you're growing yourself. So we will put a thing in Game Changers for people to put questions on for that. But I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and let Kristen take over.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, babe. So tonight you're going to be hearing from me, from Miss Katie and Miss Abrielle. And you guys, Facebook is my jam, okay? Like we did Instagram last week and Michaela and all the girls like killed talking about it. Instagram blows my brain apart. Like it is, I have such a hard time understanding Instagram and all like the little stuff that goes with it. But I have personally grown, I've grown my entire network through using Facebook solely. And now I'm just starting to branch over into Instagram, but I'm in love with Facebook. I really, really am. It has been such a cool progression of going from knowing nothing about it. I keep forgetting if it was like 5 or 6 years ago, but like 5 to 6 years ago, I knew nothing except, I would just like post everything and anything, all my feelings, all the things on there. And then growing this successful business, even growing like a successful business in my last company, and then coming over here and just blowing it up and utilizing Facebook and just continuing to grow and learn. Facebook has been so powerful. And I know Katie has grown her business, started growing her business predominantly through Facebook. So is Abrielle. And so many of you guys have as well. So the first thing I want to tell you guys is that you have to look at social media as a tool, okay? You have to look at it as a tool for growing your business. It's not the only tool, but it is a very powerful tool. And it's really, really important to take the time to learn it. You may be like, well, I know how to click all the things on Facebook, and I know how to post a picture, and I know how to type this out, and I know how to change a cover photo, and that's good. But there's a difference between knowing how to use a tool and then actually like mastering it and continuing to like use it really, really well, right? Because anybody can like turn on a saw, but not everybody can make something fancy with the saw, right? So what we want to really talk about, and that's what Michaela was talking about last week, and the girls were talking about last week, is mastering Instagram. We're going to come over here and talk about Facebook. Some of the concepts are going to be the same, okay? And that's the cool thing is you're going to have some things that are going to marry together. It's not like it's two completely different animals, although it is different. So one of the things I will tell you that just as important as it is on Instagram as far as you're still creating a visual experience. Now with Facebook, you are able to talk a lot. You're able to type more, okay? I like Facebook because I like to talk, right? I don't like to just post pictures. So for me, I'm like, I want to tell you a story and write you a blog and like all this stuff. So it is so important that when it comes to all of social media, it's learning how to tell your story well. But I think that's even more important with Facebook because the story comes before the picture in Facebook. And in Instagram, your picture comes before the story. So in Facebook, it's even more important for you to get into the habit of making sure that what you're writing and sharing about catches people's attention. It is important to be putting good visuals with that, photos, videos, and things like that. But the story is the thing that captures people a lot of times before the visual does. So hopefully that makes sense with you guys. It's like the opposite. So really getting in the habit of making sure that what you're sharing makes sense and is actually catches people's attention. So I'm gonna come back to that in a minute, but first, I want to give you guys a little bit of statistics here, okay? So Facebook, sometimes people think, oh, nobody's on Facebook anymore. Everybody on Facebook, okay? Facebook has more people than Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, all of the things combined. They have more users on Facebook. So Facebook is not going anywhere, and it is still an extremely important platform to understand. It is not Instagram is definitely, it's definitely picking up speed, and it's very important to start to learn that as well. But I think that it's important that you kind of make sure that you understand how to use one before jumping into the other. I think I heard this a long time ago, and I think it really does make sense. It's like you don't want to be trying to master two different things at one time. So if you're already doing Instagram, keep doing that for a while. Like, don't feel like you have to be doing both platforms perfectly. Go with which one works for you for right now, and obviously continue to learn how to use other ones. But I don't want you to get caught up. If Instagram is working great for you, then don't come over to Facebook and feel like you now have to like transition. Now you need to like learn how to use this perfectly. Keep doing what's working for you, and then you're going to want to, slowly change things up. But Facebook it's here, and they are constantly changing things up. And it's important for you guys to understand a lot of the changes that have been coming with Facebook too, which also are going to affect Instagram as well, because Facebook owns Instagram, right? So it's important to understand that Facebook is getting very, very, very focused on relationships, okay? It is a very relational. If you're making posts that are spammy, if you're sharing a ton of before and after pictures that are, kind of come across spammy, if you are going Thrive-a-palooza on everybody all the time, if you are using, if your whole entire thing is becoming about your business, you're actually going against what Facebook wants you to do and how they want you to utilize your personal profile. So technically your personal profile is not like in the Facebook, like, whatever you want to call them, the rules and all that stuff, is that your personal profile is not meant for selling, okay? So that's why it's even more important for you guys to understand that when it comes to Facebook, that your personal profile is a lot of sharing and you really working on branding yourself and being yourself, and then mixing Thrive into that. Otherwise, you're going to get yourself in a situation where Facebook may actually start targeting you and flagging you if your posts are coming across like super salesy. So we need to like graphics, anything that looks like a sales post, anything that sounds too much like a sales post. You have to be really careful with that, because they're actually putting out a new thing that Facebook's rolling out a ton of changes this year. And one of the things they're going to be doing is they're going to actually be putting badges on your profile and your pages, whether you've been flagged, how relevant you are, how relational you are, things like that. So those things are going to start. I don't understand all of it. I follow, if you don't follow John Eric through his social media training page, and I'm going to tell you guys to follow him because he does a ton of training. Does anybody know off the top of your head which one is his like base one? I think it's Talk Nerdy to me. Is that what it is, his basic one? Because he has like 5 different levels. Does anybody remember which one that one is?
I think I just follow Adventure Social. Is that what it is?
I was going to say I follow Adventure Social too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So start with following Adventure Social, you guys. Okay. It looks like this. So John Eric is like a social media guru, and he talks so much about Facebook. And because they're doing a lot of changes right now, you want to make sure that you are paying attention to this and learning your tool and growing, and not feeling like you're, a lot of times people say like, oh, the algorithm is hurting my business, or algorithm isn't showing people as much as my stuff. The algorithm is actually meant to cause your Facebook to be more about relationship building and more relationship and showing people more of what they want to see. So if you feel like the algorithm is working against you, it's not. It's that you have to learn to work with it, and really that means you might be being too salesy. That means that you may not actually be working on building those relationships. Maybe you're not focusing on building your brand. You're focusing more on just too many sales posts or a Thrive Girl or whatnot. So it's really important more than ever to be working on growing that brand. And we've talked about this a lot. And this is where I want to have Katie kind of come in a little bit, because Katie has been phenomenal. I've known Katie since she started network marketing for the very first time. We were previously in other companies together, and I have gotten to see Katie grow her basically grow it. And I'm going to have Abrielle go right after Katie too, just talking about what you have done to grow your brand and what, like how you kind of started. Because a lot of people here are kind of starting at the same place that where we started, Katie, all these years ago. So I want you to kind of just share a little bit about what that's looked like for you building your brand across Facebook and some of the things maybe you didn't do right in the beginning, and then some of the things that you've done to kind of change it up. So.
Okay, so I do apologize in the beginning.
Yeah.
For me, it was rough. Like, if I look at my time hop now on Facebook, I'm just, like, so embarrassed. I delete it. Like, I said that. I can't believe, like, 20-year-old Katie must have been going through some stuff because my time hop is, like, the worst ever. So, take what you hear tonight, you guys, and just, like, apply it and just know that Kristen and myself and Abrielle and Michaela, we've learned by, like, doing this ourselves. Like, we've messed up enough times to learn the right way, and so we're just trying to help you guys avoid those many years of mistakes that we've had to go through to get where we're going or to get what we've done. So from you guys, branding yourself is literally just like being yourself. And so what I do is I'm me. Like, I am unapologetically me. Y'all might know, like, the term vanilla, and I feel like if you're very vanilla, that means you're trying to please everybody. You're trying to fit into the mold that, you know, everybody will be your friend and everybody will love you. And I think if you're vanilla, then you're very boring. I think that you need to be who you are. Like, if you're an advocate for, like, if you, like, for me, for example, I was a teen mom. Like, I'm an advocate for teen mothers. Like, I will speak up loud and proud and stand up for them and just, you know, let the world know, like, it's not the end of the world. Like, that's what's passionate about me. Passionate brings me passion, whatever. Some people don't agree with that, you guys. Not everybody's gonna agree with that. So whatever drives your fire, whatever sets your soul on fire, whatever inspires you, share it. Be proud about it. Like, you're not going to please everybody. End of story. Like, if you are pleasing everybody, you are doing something wrong. You can breathe the wrong way and it's going to tick somebody off. So you might as well just be you. You might as well just be authentic to who you are. Share about your life, your kids, share about your struggles. There are ways to share about your struggles in, like, not so negative ways. I find that, like, sometimes whenever I'm going through some stuff, like, it feels really good to just type it out and then erase it. Like, it feels really good to just, I really want to type it out and then I erase it. But there are ways to, if you're going through something, take a minute, settle down, think rationally about it, and then make a post about it and then flip it. Like, it was, you know, a hard time and it hurt me and it upset me and this happened, but here's a positive side of it.
Yeah.
Here's how I overcame it. Here's how I got through it. Here's how I kept myself inspired, or here's what changed it for me. So, because there are people out there who are going through the same thing as you, and if you're just putting out there, like, oh, I'm miserable, then you're not giving value to people. But if you're putting out there, hey, I've been through this and I got through this and this is how I did it, people are getting value from you. So people are going to love you for who you are. You're going to find your tribe. And I really believe that's how you find a loyal tribe, and how you make the most relationships is when you get people in front of you and you get yourself in front of people who are like-minded. So share who you are, be unapologetic about it. I put, like, some of, like, my biggest tips, but they're not really branding. I'm going to talk about them.
No, hold off on that for just a second, because I want to take it on a progression. So let me just say something to you guys. Like, what Katie said is really important. Your goal is not to make a Facebook page or make your profile all about, you know, trying to fit into every single aspect of, like, everyone's life. Like, my brand is, I talk to moms and women. I don't give a junk if a guy follows me, if there's a dad. I ain't even trying to sign a man on my team. Like, I am, like, trying to create a culture of women empowerment and, you know, really, like, appealing to moms. So part of what Katie, her passion, so whatever your passion is, and we've heard us talk about this before, is knowing what your 5 to 7 things are, right? What are your things that you're about? What are you passionate about? What do you like to share about? So, like, for example, I'll just use myself because it's just easy, right? So women's empowerment, body positivity. I'm going to be talking about crazy mom stuff. I'm going to have real talk when it comes to trying to empower women and passion and things like that. And then just, like, being, like, a hot mess sometimes, whether it's mom or just, like, who I am. So those are a lot of the things that I cycle. And that's who I am. And it naturally comes to me. So, like, try before you buy. Every single day, it's easy for me to post because I know what I'm talking about and who I'm talking to, right? The things that I know that I'm talking to moms, and I know I'm talking to women. So if you're making posts when you're on your Facebook and you don't know who you're talking to, then your posts are not going to resonate with people because you're not speaking to a specific type of people. So if Katie is really passionate about advocating for teen moms, then she's probably also going to be talking to moms a lot when she's making her posts, right? And then you're going to have other people who aren't moms yet, and maybe you're really passionate about talking to college students, other girls that are college students, and they need to make some extra money. I'm not going to be able to post the same exact way, right? The people who are following me for my brand and my message. The people that are following Christy are going to follow her for her brand and her message. Same thing with Lisa and Shelby and Michaela and Leanne. So they're following you because they like what you represent, right? They like your brand of what you're offering. So you've got to find what those things are, and those are the things you want to continuously be posting about. Not like 1 minute you're posting a recipe, the other minute you're like sharing some random thing from this page, and then you're posting like something about unicorns and then a cat video. Like, people aren't following you for that. They're following you for some type of consistency. So that is so important. You don't need to appeal to everybody, but you need to know your audience, because that is who you're going to be talking to, whether it's on Facebook or whether that's on Instagram. That is social media. Big tip right there is know your audience, know who you're talking to. So
well, that's the thing too, though, is that like when it comes to selling the product or like selling the business, you're going to be so much more likely to be able to sign people when they can trust you and they can relate to you. Like, a friend of mine's 200K, Katie Pineda, and she has PCOS. So what she does is she's in so many groups for PCOS, and she makes friends with these women. You can build so much more trust when you have common ground with people.
yes.
So she's connecting on so many levels with these women who have PCOS, and then she's becoming friends with them. She's getting to know them. She's sharing her journey with PCOS and her pregnancy and what's helping her with her symptoms. And then, that one time where she goes live and she says, these 3 steps have helped me with my PCOS so much. All these moms, all these women or whoever that she's connected with over PCOS are like, wait a second, what? You have something that... And they trust her because they've already learned to trust her in these other areas because she's already become their friend.
Yeah, it's so, so, so important, right? So when you're getting yourself into groups, when you're looking for ways to grow your network, if my goal, if I like to preach body positivity, women's empowerment, hot mess mom stuff, I'm not going to go and join a army wife group like Abrielle would. Right? I'm not going to go join a firefighter group like Brittany would, because that doesn't apply to me. I am going to join other groups that apply to me. Like, my husband is in law enforcement. So for me to join like a law enforcement group, that would make sense. And we have common ground. So when I am building a relationship with them, it makes sense, because if I share something about law enforcement, or I share something about whatever, it's going to resonate with the people that I'm adding. Does that make sense? Am I explaining this okay? Because it's like, if you post like, this is the worst example ever, but it's just, if like cats is one of your thing, and you like post about cats, like you have cats and like you're into cats and you post about cats, it makes sense for you to join a cat group and you meet other cat lovers because you're posting about cats, right? You get what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to then join a dog group because you're posting about cats. So it's just like knowing what your brand is and knowing what you're about, so that you are adding people into your network that are about what you're about, right? So even like Michaela, what she's doing with Instagram, she's looking for other mommy bloggers. She's looking for other moms who fit a specific kind of niche that she's in, and that's how she's growing her network there. So you want to add anything else to that, Katie?
I have a whole...
Yeah, we'll come back to anything else about like the branding or just, relational kind of stuff.
Okay.
Oh, you're frozen. Or maybe I was.
Am I good?
Yeah.
Okay. I think as far as like that goes, you guys, my biggest tip is to literally just be yourself. Like, and here's the thing is, if you're like, oh, I need to put a post up, like, what should I post about? Then you shouldn't be posting. You should make a post on Facebook when you're feeling something, or when you're sharing something, or when you're being genuine. You shouldn't go, oh, I haven't posted in 4 hours, like I gotta go find a post or think of a post. Like, no, post on your social media as it comes to you, because you're being authentic to who you are, and that's just the most important. I feel like people can read just like a book in this industry, and if you're not being true to yourself, then people can see that.
Yeah, absolutely. It has to come from a place of being authentic, because everybody and their mother is selling something, and you being your authentic self and really sharing that and living that out loud is going to be the thing that separates you from everybody else who is sharing something, doing something. I mean, being authentic that is everything. And that's the missing link. I mean, how many of you guys see people posting all day long, sharing products or selling something, and they just sound like a stinking spiel, like, used car salesman or something. And you're like, oh my gosh, like that is not enjoyable at all. But then you see somebody else who has a good caption of sharing something about themselves. Yeah, they're making it. Yes, they are talking about something that they're selling, but because it starts off and they're sharing something that's authentic and real, you're going to pay more attention to that versus seeing some kind of graphic or somebody, posting up a BOGO or whatever for the millionth time. So just a quick side note too, I'll say this. You don't have to share every single promo that LaBelle offers either, okay? Sometimes you need to just do that privately. You don't have to post up the graphics of like every single thing that Thrive is offering. So they offer something every single week. So if you're constantly posting things like that too, that can be a big turnoff to people. So just a quick side note. So let me, Miss Abrielle, do you want to share a little bit about this? Because I know that you have really started coming into your branding, which has been so amazing.
Yeah. First of all, I just want to start off by saying, if you guys have not tried these spike seltzer, whatever they're called, drinks, get some. I never thought I would like this water stuff, whatever. Anyways,
and that's how you sell something right there. Just share about it
right now, because it's good and it's good. So for me, just like Katie, just like Kristen, a lot of people on this Zoom, I was also with a different network marketing company. And for me, it was, okay, I was a new mom, I was a new wife, and I didn't know what that was about. I was in a new state. I was just like so lost in where I was, what I was supposed to be doing, all this stuff. And I came from, I have kids, y'all, clearly.
Oh, you're fine.
Ignore them or ignore her. And I came from a working background. Like I grew up military. My dad is still in the military. Like I said, and Kristen said earlier, my husband's in the Army, and I started working as soon as I could. At 15 years old, I got my working papers. I worked the little 20 hours a week I could. And then I started working at a really good restaurant under the table, and that constant flow of money and being independent and all that stuff was like what I wanted, what I needed, and I loved it. So when I had to slow my roll and be a mom and be a wife at 19, I was like, what am I doing? Okay, this is so crazy. So, an opportunity came in front of me and I took it. But I had no idea what I was doing. I thought being spammy and being salesy and posting other people's before and afters and copying, pasting, and messaging people that I had no idea who they were. I thought that was really cool. I thought I was doing something right. But at the same time, I had no legit plan. I had no idea what I was supposed to be doing, where I was going, like I said, and like what I wanted out of that business that I was in. I didn't realize until 3 years went by, and I'm like, okay, I've been stuck where I started 3 years ago till now. And now I'm on baby number 2, and this is just making me pregnant, or this ain't working, because this is not where I want to be. So I legit had to find something that was going to work. And this is where it comes into, I don't think no one has said this yet, but for me, social media is really about being authentic, being real, but also being attractive, if that makes sense. Attraction marketing. This is another big thing about social media. All of you guys, all of you signed with your enroller, whoever you signed to or whoever you went to, was like, look, whether it was Kristen, Katie, Michaela, whoever, why did y'all go to them? You know, something about their posts, something about their personality, something about them, it just clicked in your mind and you were like, okay, I want to be her, not be her, but I want to do what she's doing. I love how real she is. She is just like me. Maybe there was something with that person that you connected with, okay, law enforcement, or she's a hot mess mom, or whatever it is, something about that person drew you to them and made you want to grow with them with a business like this. So when you are posting, and this is where I've learned a lot, when you are posting, just like Katie said, if you have to sit there and think every single day about something, then you just really have to take a break for a second and just look around you. Look at your life, look at your kids, look at whatever's going on, whether it's negative or positive, and you just need to start, you better use Siri and just talk to her because she will take it in. I'll promise you she's listening, but you really have to just pay attention to like the little things.
I love that. This is such good advice, you guys. So good.
So for me, like, you know, like I said, 3 years went by. I'm still posting about, I'm just going to say, y'all, this ain't going nowhere. Posting about these raps, posting about this, posting about that. And everybody around me is doing it. And everybody's like, yeah, I'm interested. I want it. But then when the time came to it, to them or me reaching out to them, they weren't attracted to me. They didn't want what I had because what I'm giving out, the next person's giving out. You know what I'm saying? So I had to like focus on, okay, Abrielle, you're about to start a new company. You need to really get your butt into gear and figure out what was wrong. So I was added to a group chat with Michaela, with Chelsea, and with Amy. And these three girls, I watched them. Michaela, I followed her on Instagram. Don't go look at my Instagram, but go look at my Instagram and then go look at their Instagram. That's just to show you how lost I was and how much I have learned from her and Chelsea with Instagram, because they showed me what it means to post. And even Kristen, like I've known Kristen from the time I was with Kristen with the other company, right? So when she decided to move on, she disappeared. And I was like, oh my God, the main person that I love on Facebook, you know, she was really big in her blogging group and her videos were all over the place. And I'm just like, oh my God, where'd she? And then she popped up on a live and just went 100% real about what she was doing, what she found. And I'm just like, oh my God, I have this in my kitchen cabinet and didn't even know, guys. Like, this is how crazy this whole story is. So it took me a little bit because my mindset was not in the right place, because I'm the type of person, I'm a feeler. So I feel things all over the place. So when I felt that little regret and failure and just not being successful and all that, y'all think I want to do this again? No, I didn't. But here I am, still where I was 3 years ago, still a stay-at-home mom, still an Army wife, and still a mom. Tired. Want something to do, right? So it was like put right in front of me. I took it and I just really focused on, what are they doing that I'm not doing? What are all these people doing that I am not doing? And I started paying attention to how they were posting. I started looking at the way they spoke to their audience on social media. And I just sat there and I'm just like, oh my God, nobody cares about what I'm selling. People are my friends on these social media platforms, or whatever you want to call them, because they like who I am. So that means I need to stop with this fakeness, with this whatever you want to call it, and just share my crazy life, share who I am as a person, whether I have a full face of makeup that I don't know how to do, or if I'm just barefaced looking crazy with 3 days worth of clothes on that I had 3 days ago. What happened? You shouldn't be on the trash can. See, this is what I deal with. So probably about like 6 months after I joined Lavelle, I got into self-development that Michaela introduced me to. And if you guys are not into that stuff, I think you really need to get into it.
Get into it.
And one thing that Chelsea told me is, you know, I read all the books, Girl Wash Your Face, Un-F Yourself, and, you know, listen to podcasts, but it works. But I'm just like, Chelsea, like, she's always like so real and 100% in our group chat sometimes. And I'm just like, Chelsea, what are you doing that I'm not doing? Like, I love these books, but like, I'm like, I don't want to do this no more, you know? So she's like, you need to find that one person that speaks to you, who, like, you need to do that. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I will just call my dad, or, you know, I don't know. Like, what do you mean? She's like, you need to go on YouTube, stay up till 3 a.m, and find that one person that every single time you listen to their podcast, their YouTube video, read their book, whatever it is, you literally are in tears because it's touching you in places you didn't, like, you know, you just reaching your soul and just realness.
Yeah.
Or it's motivating you to get up off your butt and do something about the way you are feeling. And I listened to her. I was like, okay, got it. I'm going to find it. I mean, I have not found it yet, but honestly, the book that, I don't know if you guys have seen that book that Michaela is doing right this month. What is it called again?
Chatterbox.
Yeah, I listen to it on Audible and I read it. And me listening to it on Audible and reading it.
Yeah.
Y'all.
It is so
And
true. Finding that person that speaks your language with that is huge. And I have a few people, and I've tried to like listen to other people, and I'm like, girl, shut up. I don't want to hear you right now. Like, but like other people, I'm like, yes. You're like right here, sister. Tell me. Yeah.
So I had to just continue on with that, and just the positivity that you get out of self-development. And even if it's not really touching you, there's always going to be something in a self-development book, podcast, whatever it is, that's really going to kind of, you know, okay, that makes sense, you know? So I really got into that. And when I say that everything just started looking up for me, it really did. And I know, what is the main goal y'all want to reach when you hit this company? For me, it was 12K, because that meant an auto bonus. That meant, you know, a couple $100 every single week, if not more. You know, that meant me finally becoming this leader that I've always wanted to be. You know, when you're at 12K, you got kind of quite a few people that you have to help and grow with and teach things to and all this stuff. So that was the big thing for me, because honestly, I was maybe doing $1,000 in sales a year with the other company. So anything really just showing me that I can do this, motivating me. And from there on, as soon as I like opened my mind and really started paying attention to the way I was posting, the way I was talking to people, the way I was connecting and just being who I was, boom. It was like I just came out, I was a celebrity. You know, I was like, oh, hey guys, oh yeah, you know, like it was just so crazy how much everything just flipped. Yeah. And like from then on, that's my main focus is attraction marketing. I'm putting out there my real self and what I love and how I feel. I'm not saying, oh my God, buy my 3 steps because I'm not tired anymore. Like I'm saying, look, I was depressed and I'm being like, I am only 23 years old. Go ask any other 23-year-old that, you know, if they, I mean, nowadays it's more common, but I'm friends with a lot of my high school friends. They don't have kids. They graduated college. They're having the time of their life, you know, being a normal 23-year-old. A lot of 23-year-olds don't deal with deployments, don't deal with being home alone all the time, don't deal with having 2 kids under the age of 4. This is hard. I was tired. I was stuck. My mind was not there. And that's how I talk to people. Look, I'm friends with a whole bunch of Army wives. We all go through the same thing. We all have kids young. We're all young. Okay. Literally our group is called the Young Wives of Fort Campbell. I don't know if that's a good thing or what, but this just goes to show you this, like how the ages around here is. So I connect with these wives on a different level of just being tired. Look, you're about to go through a deployment. Me too. Why don't you come over and we hang out and talk through it together? I've been doing these different, like, there's a Mexican restaurant up the road. Let's meet. Let's all meet. Let's, you know, become more than just buddies on a Facebook group, you know? So I've been really working to connect with the wives around me on the same level. I'm not going to go and talk to these wives about like just other things, because we are the same on this military spouse level, you know? So when they see me post about how hard of deployments is, because a lot of them are too scared to put that out there, or talk about how depressing it is and all that stuff, and they see me doing it, I might not get a huge interaction like on my actual Facebook posts, but my messages, you guys, are like, girl, oh my God, you know, you're so real, or and thank you so much for saying that. I was so scared, you know. So little things like that mean the most to people. And if you are 100% confident enough to share some really, really deep down stuff, and you know you're okay with putting it out there, but I'm not saying don't go too far, but you know, just a little bit to just, you know, get people warm and want to hug you or something, you know, share it, because they're going to look at you and accept you and trust you, just like Katie said. You know, people want to trust you, and when that trust is there, as soon as you say, I'm not tired anymore because of this, you know, however you put your post, they're gonna be like, girl, you know what? Literally one day, it was a couple days ago, I posted a picture of me wearing all black leggings, black shirt, black Uggs, and a black label, and I said that this is my favorite color. What happened? An Army spouse messaged me like, oh, what are those mood support stickers you wear? I want them. She turned around and bought a full Thrive experience. Because why? Because we've been building this relationship together through the Army, through what we have in common. And the one time I post something that helps me, she didn't even care about the price. She didn't want no credits, no nothing, because she trusts me that it's going to help her and it's going to make her feel better, whatever. So basically my thing is with social media, besides, you know, being real, is just attract who you want, you know, attract people that you want on your team, attract people that you want to feel better or experience the 3 steps. Because for me, that's my 100% focus, and it takes time, but trust and believe, to where I was 4 years ago to where I am now, even with the last 6 months, has been super, super life-changing. And it just really opens your eyes that there's people really out there that continue to watch you no matter what. I have people on my Facebook that have watched me from, you know, where I was then and where I am now. A couple girls on here are military spouses, and they trust me because we became friends and they wanted to do this with me. And other people are friends from back home that are just like, look, you came from where I'm from and you're doing just fine. Why can't I? So it's just really about how you're putting yourself out there. People like you for you, and that's really all it's about. That's 100% is gonna get is being you. There's no, I can't be Kristen, she can't be me. She doesn't know how, I mean, she knows, might know how I feel by texting or whatever, but physically we don't know how each other feels. So when we make our posts and we put that out there, that's us. That's us. It's not you, that's us. So just stick to being you, and I promise you it'll take you places.
Yeah, no, I love what you were saying too about it's such a good way to think about it, guys, is whoever your sponsors, whoever you joined, why did you join them? What were they putting out there? And that's the kind of thing that you want to be thinking. Obviously, you don't need to put out the same thing, but it's what about that person or you like attracted you to them? And that is really important to be thinking about. So at the end of the day, guys, I'm like, real talk, you just need to be a polished version of yourself. Okay. You just need to be able to represent yourself really well through social media, you know, with your imagery, with your photos, with your videos, and showing up consistently. You're just building your own little like magazine, your own brand of yourself. And I know when we use the word brand, sometimes it can feel confusing, but really it's just like pulling the best parts of yourself and putting them out there over and over and over and over again. So let's get into some logistics here, because you know, we've talked about branding before, and we can even do a whole thing on just branding. We have before, it's on the page somewhere. But let's just talk about some really important things. Okay. So one of the traps that I see people falling into all the time when it comes to Facebook too is, and I already said this a little bit, but it's not having any type of focus. You're just literally like, oh, I need to post something. I'm just going to find some random meme to post, or I need to post something, thinking that just making a post in general is going to somehow help with building up, like you're going to attract people to what you're doing or building up what you're doing. And you really do have to work with intention with what you're doing. It is important that you're intentional with your post, intentional with sharing. You're better off posting one thing for the day that's intentional than 5 different random things, because people aren't going to take you seriously, you guys. Okay. So you have to ask yourself, well, what do I want to get out of this business? Okay. Am I trying to be like a 200K boss, or am I doing this as a hobby? If this is like a hobby for you, that's totally fine, but totally fine. Like I want to support you in whatever you want, but I know most of you are on here. You're not on here at 9:00 on Sunday night because you're like, oh, let's see if I can do my hobby better. You're here because you want to make some money. You're here because you have some goals. And so that's what I'm here to help you with. So I'm going to be real. Some of y'all got some busted Facebooks. Okay. We need to fix them and some of y'all have been on Facebook, Zooms, like 10 times, and you're still not fixing your Facebooks. You're still listening to the wrong advice. And I'm going to tell you guys this right now. Listen to the people that are growing their businesses through Facebook by branding themselves and who know what they're doing. You're going to get cross information. You're going to get people who tell you to put Thrive on your cover photo, and to put Thrive on your profile photo, and to tell everybody that you're with the bell, and to tag all your friends. And you're going to get that kind of advice. But my question is, are you building your brand? Or are you building somebody else's? Okay. Thrive is a part of what you're doing. And so when you're setting up your profile picture, okay, you're trying to grow a network and you're trying to build a following. You cannot grow this business with 200 Facebook friends, okay? So you're not going to grow this business with 500 Facebook friends, because on a good day, 10% of your following, your Facebook friends, will see your post on a good day. Okay. And that's if it's the right timing, a post that maybe people comment on. Otherwise, it could be like 1% or no percent, because Facebook is not deeming what you're posting as valuable to the people that are following you. Okay. So it's important for you to remember that you're building yourself, and you need to be somebody that people want to add as a friend. Okay. If everything about your Facebook page is Thrive, if everything about it is like, if you're like not giving out the right kind of vibe, people are not, they're not going to want to add themselves into your friends. They're not going to want to be your network, because they're going to expect that you're going to sell them something, because that is what people do. I get Facebook friend requests. Like I keep like 2 spots open now, because I'm like, I have hit my max. So like I delete a few people and I keep like 2 spots open. So like every day I'm getting hit with people left and right trying to add me as friends, and their entire page is some makeup company, or entire page is clothing or something. I know that they're just trying to get me to buy something. I'm not going to add them into my network. And because every single person and their mother is selling something, you have to be the person who's doing something that's different and something unique. And another statistic is every 4 to 5 posts on your Facebook are an ad. It's a sponsored ad. So Facebook also does not want to promote anything that looks like an ad that you're not paying for. So you have to be clever and creative with how you're posting things. And if you're doing that authentic with who you are, then you're not going to run into these problems. So your profile photo needs to be of you. Okay. Like Michaela said last, like nobody wants to see your dog or your cat, or if it's like your full family, then people don't know who you are, right? So it needs to be a picture of you that represents you well, that's bright, and that's crisp. Your cover photo should not be distracting. I've always been somebody who's like been cool with using like quotes and stuff, but John Eric pretty much said that he thinks that the best way to do it is to have like a really clean and simple profile photo that basically directs people down into your profile. Okay. So what he's saying is like the way that you do everything, you want it to kind of, your cover photo is like the top of your peak here. Okay. And then it goes down to your profile photo, and then into your bio, and then starts going down into your newsfeed. And so it's like, you want to direct people down into that. But if you don't get people here, And here, okay, cover and profile photo, they're not going to start digging down in some of your other stuff, especially as you are adding people and they're sizing you up to see if they want to add you as a friend. Because again, people are getting way more cautious about who they're adding. So that is really, really important. So you want to make sure that those things are clean and crisp and representing you in a positive way. Making sure that you're taking advantage of your bio, making sure that you're making that clean. The bio is going to be the little section that's underneath your photo and your cover. I'm going to pull mine up here. So just to make sure you guys know what I'm talking about. So this is your cover photo here, your profile photos here, and then below that is going to be where your bio is, okay? And you want that to be something that is going to give people a little taste of what your brand is, okay? It doesn't have to be everything. I think that, you know, giving people a little taste of something that makes sense with the audience that you're building, okay? So mine's gonna say, you know, mine's going to be something about, you know, empowerment. Mine's going to be about passion. Mine is, you know, and you can be tweaking it. Like I mess around with mine sometimes, okay? And I've just started messing around with mine and changing it up a little bit. But it's what's going to attract people to like, okay, I think I'll be cool with adding this person as a friend. Because again, if you're not growing your network, as in growing your friends list, then you're not really going to be utilizing your social media well, okay? Like you have to be growing because it is a numbers game. So the more people you can get in front of, the better. You've got to make your profile look in a way that people want to accept you because they don't think you're just going to come in and be trying to sell them stuff, okay? Now, I am going to, Katie, will you hop on if you're free? I know she put herself out there. I was going to have Katie talk about stories because Katie's really good at utilizing stories. The first thing I will say is I'm still kind of like learning the best way to utilize stories versus profile. But the first thing I'll tell you is you do not want the same thing that's going to in your stories that you're going to be posting to your profile. Okay. We want people to actually like stop and look at your stories and actually look at your profile. If you're doing the same exact thing, then you're limiting the amount of people who are actually going to interact with the different ways of posting things. So I'll let Katie kind of jump in and share about stories more.
I'm here. I'm just indecent. So I turned my camera
the way
off.
I like you.
Well, okay, so I love Facebook stories, honestly. And the way that I kind of dictate what I share on my page and what I share in my stories is that what I share on my page either needs to be educating, inspiring, encouraging, motivating, those kinds of things. So the things that I share on my actual page, I want to make sure it's putting out some kind of value. Okay, there are things that happen in my life all day, every day. I mean, I have 3 kids. There is never a dull moment, but it's not all valuable to other people. So you're going to attract people in through your Facebook page by giving them value, which is in turn going to make them watch your stories because they're learning to love you. They're getting to know you through your page. So my stories, I will share my kids. I will share, you know, funny things that are happening. Like I shared tonight, Tony, my husband, was trying to like throw this hard hat up and catch it on his head. And he kept whacking himself in the face with it. And I shared that in my stories because it's funny and it's part of my life. Another thing also though is that it's fun to share little like tidbits of your life, but you have to remember that stories are just that. They're stories. So tell a story. And it doesn't even have to be about your business. It could be about anything. Like take a selfie and say, going into Target, please pray for me. And then you could show a little video of you walking through Target. And then you could take a picture at the end and be like, you know, mission accomplished. I didn't spend more than I was meaning to spend. Like literally just take it through like little clips. Just tell a story. It could literally be anything, like going out for the day with my family and then little pictures of what you're doing during the day with your family. People love stories. People love to like watch stories. Why do you think that like the movie industry is such a huge industry? It's because there's a storyline.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you're giving people a storyline. Something that I use just to make my stories a little bit prettier when I am talking about the business or the products is the Unfold app. I have bought some extra little filters in there. You don't have to. There's stuff that you can access for free. It's still just as cute. And that kind of just makes it look clean and it makes it look cut and real nice there. So I will share a story of what I'm doing throughout the day. I will share funny things that are happening throughout the day. And then when I do share about my business or the products, a lot of times I'll use a poll and people can vote on polls. Now, I do not cold message ever. I will never send a message out. To this day, I have never sent one single message out to anybody unless A, they've commented and asked me to, or B, they voted on my poll. Because
Same.
both of those are legitimate reasons to message somebody. They basically gave you the okay to message them. So that's the only time that I'll message people. I just sold a 6-day mini experience, which was $45 in my pocket, simply because for the last week, every single morning, I've just made a little video of me making my shake in the morning. And then this one last time I said, I weighed in under 150 this morning. This is the first time I've weighed under 150 in 4 years. And somebody messaged me and she's like, okay, you got me. What are you drinking? And I sold her a 6-day mini and I'm going to follow up with her and I'm going to get her to order the full Thrive experience. So, you can share what you're doing in there and just make sure that you're sharing stories with people. Like I said, the movie industry is a billion-dollar industry, because it grabs people's attention through the story. So you want to make sure that you're grabbing people's attention with the story.
Yeah, I love that. And I like to also compare it to almost like reality TV, right, guys? People love reality TV, and literally all you're doing is watching somebody's life. We're big freaking weirdos, okay? We like to watch people's lives. I think about my life all the time, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if somebody was following me around today, this episode would go wild, right? So that's a really great way to use your stories. It's kind of like your little reality TV. It's kind of cool because it goes away after a little while. And it's just kind of the things that don't have to be as clean and crisp. But I love that. I just consider stories kind of your reality TV. And don't
think that you're boring either. I mean, so many people come to me and they're like, well, I don't even know what to share because my life is boring. The only reason that you think your life is boring is because you live it every day.
Yeah.
I've gone live in my stories and opened up my mail, my Bath and Body Works and the clothes that I buy for my kids. And to me, it's just another day. And I actually get people who message me and they're like, when are you going to open your mail again? Which is kind of creepy. She posted it right on my wall. She's like, when are you going to open your mail again? I've been waiting.
I love when you open envelopes, girl. Yes.
So it's boring to me because it's just whatever to me. I ordered a candle. To me, that's nothing. But to other people, that's not their everyday life. That's not what they do every day or what they see every day. So even though you do it or you see it every day, it's boring to you because it's common to you. Other people are still interested.
I love that. That's such good advice. Abrielle, you unmuted yourself. What did you want to say?
Yeah, I was just going to say too, how Katie said, you might think your life's boring because you don't share it. So I think it's entertaining when I share something that's funny or share. I went live yesterday. I don't know if y'all pay attention to me. It's cool if you don't. But a couple last week I did I put a post up and I was like, what are some weird foods that you eat together that people think that are weird that you think are good, basically.
Wow.
And it blew up. There was over 100 comments, right? And then I was driving home the other day and I'm like, you know what? I should just go live and just eat some, pick some weird stuff that people said and just eat it on live. Why not?
Yeah.
And I have 100 and something views on this live because people are entertained by me eating chocolate and pickles and Cheetos and mayonnaise and weird stuff like that. So you might think that it's so dumb or so not fun, but I think it's so entertaining to have kids that do funny things. And then me too, yesterday, phantom kicks. If you have kids, I'm sure y'all know what that weird feeling of having kicks in your stomach means. And I'm like, oh snap, is there a baby in there? Should I be drinking this? Or, you know what I'm saying? So just put it out there. Whatever you're thinking, whatever you think might be entertaining, maybe it'll blow up, maybe it won't, but at least you're sharing some of your thoughts and you're just being yourself, basically. So yeah, don't think you're boring. No, because I thought I was boring and obviously I'm quite entertaining. So
well, yeah, and people are, again, it really comes down to people, they're, first of all, they love, they can relate to you, it makes you a human, but also it's an entertainment value. Why do you think people have YouTube channels that are doing stupid stuff? Because people are entertained. People are sitting around bored. So that's the whole point, you guys, is people are literally all day long, this is what they're doing. scroll, waiting for something to catch their attention. Is a graphic going to do that? Is a capsule going to do that? Is a box going to do that? No, but you sharing about your life and you sharing something that's valuable. It's all about content, you guys. It is all about sharing things that actually offers value to somebody, whether that's because it's funny, because it gets them in the heart, or whether it gets them in the eyes, the tears, or it gets them, like, you know, it's all about grabbing people in one of their the way that they feel, right? So it's something that makes them want to pay attention. And then next time, because Abrielle did her, you know, video, next time she does share something about her DFT or wearable nutrition or whatever she's doing, people are going to pay more attention because she already gave them some value in their life. Like she already built a rapport with them through that. And they're like, oh my gosh, I could totally get down with that girl. She is funny. Because again, guys, everybody and their mother is selling something, right? So our job is to help people see that we're a real human that isn't just a sales robot who, like, they're going to want to order from you. Like, I sometimes sell stuff. Like, I'll get a message all of a sudden that somebody's ready to order something from a post that has nothing to do with Thrive, because it's just, I've been offering value for so long. People were just waiting for something to catch their eye again. They were like, oh my gosh, I need to message her about Thrive anyway. You get what I'm saying? So all of these things add up. Sometimes it has nothing. I know it sounds crazy, but you got to be doing so much more of like other things than Thrive, because you're kind of creating like your own little show, like your own little like magazine and all this stuff. And then because you talk about Thrive, all of a sudden people want to do it. Like we all know that Khloe Kardashian and Kim Kardashian, they aren't using those creams they're selling. They ain't drinking those shakes, but because people love them, because they have the following, they could post literally about like eyebrow waxing, and they're going to go people are going to go buy the same wax that they use for their eyebrows because they want a piece of them. Does that make sense? Like, this is like such important stuff to grasp, because it seems like we're not talking about Thrive, but it is everything. This is how you build a brand that's able to sell products that people want to buy and separates you from other people. So I know we like are getting off on different tangents here, but Katie, do you want to say anything else about stories?
About stories, no, just be yourself, you guys, and just make people laugh and share value. I mean, that honestly is the biggest thing, is that you have to give value and not expect anything in return.
Yes.
And that is how you're going to gain trust. That's how you're going to gain followers. That's how you're going to build relationships, is when you are offering something to somebody. When you have nothing to offer people, and this sounds so bad, but when you have nothing to offer people, they really have no reason to come to your page. So just make sure that you're filling them up and you're inspiring them, you're encouraging them, you're motivating them, even you're making them laugh. I mean, you know, I did a live video with my husband, which showed in my stories, and we did the whisper challenge, and it was so stupid. And he was like really naughty and using a lot of swear words, which I try not to do on my page. But it was a hit. People loved it. I mean, people were talking to me about it for weeks. Like, I would see them in person and they're like, that video was hysterical. And it's just because, you know, we're real and we're not afraid to be who we are and just share our journey with people.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so true. And like the things that, like the try before you buy, the stuff that I do, or if I, you know, sharing like coffee with KJ, that's all just a part of who I am and my brand. And even though it seems like it has nothing to do with my business, it has everything to do with it, because I am my business, I am my brand, and Thrive is one piece of that puzzle. So you can't come into this, you guys, if you're new or if you've been in for a while and you're literally making every single thing about Thrive, you're doing yourself a major disservice, because people are just, they're going to scroll by, or they're going to eventually unfollow you because it's not valuable to them. So Katie, go ahead. I know you have other things you wanted to share. So do you want to share some of your other things? We're literally like almost at an hour here, but
Let me get to my notebook. Hang on.
your notebook, girl. We'll just rapid fire tips right now.
Okay, so just a few things that I did write down just to help you guys get interaction. And this was a really big one, is to engage with the people who do comment on your stuff. Like, if you post a status and or a picture or a video and there's people who comment on your stuff, comment back to them, please. Hang on, comment back to them. So like, think about it like this. If you walked into the store and you know, you walked up to somebody and you said, hey, how you doing? And they literally just looked at you and walked away, you'd be like, rude. right? Rude. These people took the time to comment on your stuff, so comment back to them, talk back to them, and that's going to boost your algorithm with them for Facebook as well. Basically what Kristen said, you did not join Lavelle to become Lavelle. Like, Lavelle is branded. They're almost a multi-billion-dollar company. Like, they got it. Don't worry about it. Let them worry about it. You worry about branding yourself. And basically, branding yourself is like, not saying this would ever happen, but like, if I left Lavelle tomorrow, I would still know that I would be okay because people love me for me. They don't know me as Lavelle. They don't know me as Thrive. They know me for who I am. So, brand yourself not with your company. Brand yourself. Pick 5 things that explain who you are and post about at least one of those 5 things every single day. Videos, do live videos if you can. If you're too scared, pull your upline, pull a downline, pull a sideline friend, and go do a double live. Lives are like hold the most power, I think, on your Facebook. They hold the most power, and it doesn't have to be business. I went live a couple times and I made food in my Instant Pot, and like I had people on talking to me, and I've had people message me since then. They're like, when are you going to do another one? Just be yourself. I mean, I think it's simple.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, you guys, when it comes to figuring out your 5 to 7 things, what Abrielle was talking about, if you don't feel like you know how to find those things, and the reason I say 5 to 7 is because I'm like very multi-passionate, so I got to narrow it down to 7. I could probably talk about like 10 to 15 things, but for you, it might even be 3 things, and that's totally fine. But if you feel like you're stuck and you don't know how to find those things, that's where that self-development is really going to come in. That's where, finding your person that speaks to you. Like I have. And also you're going to see a progression. Like you're going to pick a few things now, and in 2 years, you're not going to be the same person. You might be carrying a similar message, but it's going to evolve. And that's what the beautiful thing is this evolves with you and as you're growing. So, if you're feeling like you're stuck and you don't know those things, get with your sponsor and see if they can help you with some of that. But also taking that time to get to know yourself. Like a lot of us as women, like, we've spent a lot of time having other people tell us who we are and what we can be and what we shouldn't be and how we need to behave. Like, it's okay to like get a little rebellious and like just say like, no, I'm going to be who I am. I'm going to figure that out. And that sometimes you just have to take that time to really dig in and figure out those things about yourself. So, make sure you're taking the time for that. Michaela, I just saw you text me, but I didn't see what you said. Oh, at the end. Okay. Sorry.
Well, it can be whatever, but I just wanted to let everybody know why there are people on here. You guys, my hair is crazy. Sorry. There's going to be a bonus Zoom Wednesday that I was not expecting, but one of my really good friends, her name is Emma Hastings. She's in 200K in this business. We are going to be teaming up and doing Zooms for each other. So she's going to do one. They also do Sunday nights. So we're doing like bonus ones. So she's going to be pouring into us Wednesday at 8:30 Central Standard Time if anybody wants to hop on.
Okay, awesome.
Just wanted to
I love learning from other leaders. It's so awesome. It's fun to see the different ways that people do things. So the other things I was going to tell you guys too, like, we probably need to do another one. And Michaela, we need to do like another one on Instagram and then come back to Facebook or something like that, because there really is so much stuff to talk about. But, the last thing I'll leave you guys with, because we got to hop off here because we're running long, but, making sure that if you're feeling like you're stuck, if you're feeling like you're not getting a lot of engagement, then you probably need to change something up. Okay. You either don't have enough people that you're actually like friends with, check your friends list, see what's going on there. Then also, if you're really not getting a ton of interaction with things, then you probably need to change up what you're doing. Okay. So get with your sponsor and ask them to take a look at your Facebook page. And we have to be real with each other because we want to grow. We want to see you grow. We want to see that you be successful. And are you going to get an interaction on every single thing you do? Absolutely not. But if you're not getting anything, then something's off and needs to kind of get adjusted. And because Facebook and Instagram are such powerful tools, we don't want you guys to like just fly by the seat of your pants. We want to actually help you with fixing this. So take the kind of tips that we gave tonight. I highly recommend that you guys start following John Eric on Adventure Social. He does so many trainings, like more than we could even have time for tonight, talking about all the things that are like the tips that you will get from him when it comes to Facebook are unbelievable. So that would be something I would highly recommend that you guys do, because again, this is your tool. Okay. And you've got to learn how to use it. And I have a pretty successful brand through Facebook, but I'm still growing and learning every single day. And it's important that all of us are doing that too. So same thing with your Instagram and everything. Go ahead, Michaela.
John Eric's saying, isn't it $9 a month? If you can upgrade, I think it's $9. It's really beneficial. I don't know jack about Facebook, and I'm trying to use it. Chelsea's my accountability partner. Like, if she doesn't see me post, she will yell at me. But I've learned so much from him. So many simple things. So if you can afford the $9 a month, I really, really suggest.
Yeah, he has free content, so maybe you start there. And then he has different upgrade options. But he's always doing something in some type of coaching. So I mean, honestly, like I said, we couldn't even possibly cover it here. This is just the 101 and touching the surface of Facebook, but we'll probably need to do some more Zooms on this. And then what'd you say next week? We're doing IPAs, right, Michaela?
Yeah, so we're going to do IPAs, non-negotiables. I can talk, I promise.
And IPAs stand for income producing activities.
Yes, and just kind of growing yourself, and how when you grow yourself, that's how you're able to brand yourself.
Yep. These are so huge. Again, guys, it can seem like, God, why are they talking about branding so much? Why are they always just every freaking Zoom is about branding? But that's because we are talking to you about what's working for us and what is working for other people and what's going to separate you. So like, take it in, listen to it, absorb what you can. We don't expect you guys to be able to grasp all of this at one time, but be authentic, be who you are, share about that consistently, take the time to figure out what you're about, make your profile look attractive. Okay. If again, I really recommend for your, cover photo that is something that is just like kind of simple and bright and inviting, and your profile picture should be of you and bright and inviting, and your bio should be things that really make sense to who you are, and sharing a little piece of your brand. I like to do I think 3 to 5 things on there that kind of describe that. And then there's so many other things that we can kind of get into, but a lot of you need to kind of nail that first before we can even start getting into more stuff. So thank you guys so much for being on. Abrielle, do you want to share anything else before we hop off?
Yeah, I'm really quick just because the little one's crying, but I just want you guys to really get familiar with, coming up with a game plan. Don't get stuck in the scroll every single day. You really have to start being proactive now. Start being consistent now. Just commit to growing. It's all about this. Like, my word for this year is growth, because I'm nowhere near where I want to be at. And just understand that, like everything that Kristen said, whether it's your brand, attracting people to your Facebook, that's all so important. So I'm going to stop talking right now because Gemma's coming, but that was basically it.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right, you guys. Hey, thank you so much for being on here tonight. I'll let Michaela close it out. And thanks guys so much for coming on.
Sorry guys, I totally just stuffed my mouth with food because I haven't eaten in a few days. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so like I said, bonus Zoom Wednesday, and then I was trying to figure out, if you're reading the book, when we could fit in talking about it, because my daughter she's in 3 different types of dance. So she has dance recital Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So if you did do that and you just want to stay on, whether you read the book or not, you just want to stay on after Sunday Zoom, we will go ahead and do that then. And then we also have our book picked out for next month. Amy actually chose it. So if you want to join in next month and go ahead and get it, if you have an Audible credit or something, we're going to do the Self-Love Experiment. And it is by, I should have looked that up. I'm so prepared, guys. Shannon Kaiser. So it's a Self-Love Experiment by Shannon Kaiser. So that's what we're going to do next month. And that's all. And I just started a book. And I will have a spot for questions and game changers. Somebody will post one for next week's Zoom. So I hope you guys have a really good week. Bye.